And we are live streaming. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Angie Atkinson. I'm here with the lovely and talented Lise Colucci. Lise, welcome back.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Always happy to have you with me. So today, Lise and I are going to talk about compulsive lying and narcissists. All right. So before we do, I just want to let you know that momentarily our admin should be, our mod squad should be in the house and sharing our reminders so that everyone knows how to get in touch with us and how to make sure you can show up at these streams and all the good stuff, and where to find Lise elsewhere on this platform, which is at Lise Colucci Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Support. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So as we're talking about today, we're talking about narcissists and how they compulsively lie. We're talking about how narcissism and antisocial personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, these tend to be very connected with a lack of empathy, right? And the lack of empathy means they don't give a crap about how they treat you. Certainly don't care if they lie to you. They will, their propensity for exploitative behavior is off the charts. So Lise, let's talk about it. Talk to me about compulsive lying and narcissists.
Well, first of all narcissists who have NPD are liars because they're lying about who they are. They're lying to maintain the delusion that they live in about who they are. Are they lying
to themselves and us?
Themselves and us. Mostly there's an element of it that is intentional. Mm-hmm. Some of them, they don't know they're doing it because they are that low level. They just are like, "What? Of course I'm this awesome," and they don't get it.
That's true.
But we're talking here, I think today, more about the ones that lean towards sociopathy or psychopathy, where they're like higher up on the spectrum of narcissism, and they are compulsively lying to the point where everything about their life might be a lie. You find out little. So there's a lot of people that have experiences where they say, well, of course they lied. They cheated. They lied about the women. They lied about the women. And then come to find out they actually lied about more than just the women. Everything in their life. You find out through other supply. You find out through the other women sometimes, like men. Sorry, it's not just men that do this, and it's not just straight men that do this. So yeah. So that's, I guess, where I'd start.
I totally agree. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about there are so many like common lies, right? So like, I would never lie to you. Pretty common, right?
Yeah. Right.
I will never cheat on you. Whatever, all these kinds of things. Right. So what are some other common
future faking lies? We're gonna get married. We're gonna buy a house. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. The future faking lies are a big one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What about the lies about like my ex was crazy. They were obsessed with me. They were this, they were that. Or that person I cheated on you with is crazy. I didn't really do that. They're just obsessed.
Right. Or the projecting lies. You're cheating on me. They know you're not.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. And then the ones where they're like, well, I was over at Bob's house or Julie's house or whatever. Not really. I wasn't really cheating or doing this or that. Whatever.
You catch them texting. Who you texting? My friend.
It's my mom.
My sister.
Right.
Yeah. At midnight, you're texting your sister at midnight, like so intently that you're doing it from bed. Yeah. Yeah.
And let me see your phone. Can I see what your sister's saying? I just deleted all the messages. Yeah. Or worse, because if we're being honest, they don't really care what we think, so they'll just tell us to F off. Yeah. I mean, right? I've seen the ones where they're like, I'm just too busy to do it. I'm staying late at work. I'm doing all those things. And my favorite one. We have so much in common.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I like that too. I didn't know you liked that.
Yeah. As they're looking it up on their phone to see what it is.
Right. What is that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to gaslight is to lie.
That's right. That's right. And they do it in such a way. And see, that's the other thing. Okay. Lying by omission. You don't ask questions. They don't tell stories. I mean,
they tell piece of the story. They tell you half truths. They tell you.
Yep.
I know one that will look stuff up to tell her children, but she'll only tell the piece of it that doesn't relate to her, but it does to other people. So
Isn't that fun?
so that, yeah, the children are like, oh, yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, no. Yeah. And
No,
it could be
that's
about anything. Yeah. That's just lying by omission is a fascinating one.
It really is. Yeah. Or the old, I'll always love you. You'll never have to doubt my love for you. All that kind of stuff. About like, you know, I'm so disgusted and horrified by cheaters. Cheating is wrong. Why would I ever? I don't do things that are wrong. Yeah, that's fun. What else? Let's see.
Yeah, and they tend to say things like, I would never do that, like about whatever it is. And they act horrified or they act disgusted, but it's in truth something that they actually enjoy doing.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a client who her person had a specific type of kink. Okay. And this person swore up and down how it's so disgusting. I would never. You know?
Oh yeah.
And of course, that was the one thing that person was into. Or worse, the ones who are, yeah, I'm straight.
Yeah,
I'm gay, whatever that.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
But really, they're just whatever. They're homosexual or whatever.
Right.
Let me just get a place to live, please.
For the night. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the ones who just, oh, my parents, this one's a little extreme, but I've seen it. I don't have a family, or my family are all dead, or, my family's perfect, but they all live in Alaska or whatever.
Right.
Where they just don't want you to meet their family. And, and on that same note, I have one client right now who, she was struggling with her person, and she found that he had told her, the family. So she didn't know that he left his wife and baby for her, first of all. Eventually they got married, secondly, and she never understood why his family hated her so much.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And it turned out it was because she was the
other woman and didn't know it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this woman would never have.
Oh, it's so awful. Right. Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah. Or they lie about being divorced. They lie about not. Yeah.
Anything and everything.
Anything and everything.
Yeah. Oh, and my favorite one. Okay, another favorite. Like I used to be really bad, but now I'm better. I'm over those. Sure, I cheated on every other person I've ever been with, but I wouldn't do that to you. You're different and special, or whatever.
Right.
And that's only if you happen to accidentally find out, of course.
Right. About their past or their current that they are claiming as their past. Right. So, yeah. All right. So what do you say we jump into the chat? Sure.
Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. So we have, here we go. Oh my goodness. Awa says, my ex said messages I saw between him and his ex were photoshopped, and they lied about everything. That right there, I've heard that. I've seen that one done, actually. I saw one person actually Photoshop, well, it wasn't Photoshop, some service online, but change actual text messages, screenshots to show that, and then said that the other person changed them.
And that brings up a good point. People ask all the time, do they know they're doing this? Are they doing it on purpose? Or is it intentional? Does that last comment not tell you how intentional these things are? Of course it's intentional. You don't lie on accident. Oops, I fell on a lie. Oh, I didn't know why I said that. Why did I just...
Right.
No, they're doing it on purpose. Why are they doing it? Because they're covering up. They're trying to get away with something. They're covering up so they don't have to take accountability. They are. One actually told someone, I don't like my life, and so I made one up. What?
Actually, I know somebody who did that. Well, I don't know the person, but I have a client who
there can be versions of that aren't toxic, where you don't hurt anyone. There can be versions of that where you're just lying to yourself to keep yourself motivated. So, this is so that I could get women to like me, so that I could pretend to be something really important, so that people would give to me and give me attention, feed me supply. So
unbelievable.
Yuck. Yeah. I remember there was one long ago, before I knew this. I was in my 20s, and before I knew I knew what a narcissist was-ish, but we didn't know about this back then, right? Back in the old days.
No.
the
No.
pre-internet days, the long
Right.
time ago days. Anyway, he was home. He was a home husband
Mm.
that was perfectly able-bodied and capable and intelligent and all of
Which
those.
is okay as long as that's
It's
what they
an
agreed
agreement.
to.
But the wife was
Right.
my friend, and she was like, "Hey,
Not happy.
I don't know how, I don't know what to do, but and so I'm like, I don't know." And he claimed to be an ex-Navy SEAL. He claimed to be, oh my gosh, so many things. Like his life was really complex and fascinating until suddenly he became a person who sits on the couch and watches TV all day. We don't know why, right? And
Yeah.
anyway, I was homesick one day I was really sick with like one of these bad flus that goes around. It was like 2 weeks of just watching TV. And I kid you not, the episodes I was watching on reruns of television were the stories he was telling.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No. And I was like, oh, this is before you could just record and send clips to the
Right.
like I can't even, like he's the fall guy, and he's like for real. He's Magnum PI. Did you know that? I mean,
Oh my gosh.
right. Yeah. It was like word for word some of the stuff.
I mean,
So that's what yeah.
He's like, let me watch some TV and get some ideas for my life.
My lies. Yeah.
That's drama.
And I think they are lying to people like so frequently. And if they are the cheating narcissists, if they're the serial cheaters, they're all have the capacity to cheat. But the serial cheaters, then that means they're lying to multiple people at the same time.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So they're spinning lies and having to cover up those lies. And just imagine how hard it is to cover up the tiniest lie in your life.
I mean, I just don't lie.
I
can't say that.
You know what I mean? Like if you have to, if you're like, everyone's done it once in their life.
Of course.
And had to cover it up and been like, oh my gosh, that was more energy. Horrible, right?
Yeah.
So this is what they're doing on a grand scale. This is where their energy's going. This is where their focus is going. And it's gross.
And the purpose, I think a couple of things. First of all, I think the reason that sometimes they just lie to lie.
Oh yeah. They love
for
it.
no other reason, right? Other times I think it's more about their like they're trying to get over on you. They're trying to get something, keep their cake and also eat their cake.
And other people's cake.
Cake and eat it too.
And the
cookies. The cookies and that secret stash you have hidden behind the cabinet or whatever. All that stuff. They want to eat it all. Okay. I'm a little hungry. I bit my lip earlier and I'm like, anyway, and I'm not trying to eat my lip. I gotta stop. Okay, back on track. Hello to our mod squad, Humble Mom, Christine, and Jack. We appreciate you. Okay, so Lovely Empress wants to know: is there any hope for a narcissist, I guess, to change? And
change? No.
Right. I mean, I want to say yeah, but I've never seen it.
No.
I do believe in theory that it could happen, but I've never seen it happen. And when I say,
could empathy be implanted in their brains, though?
They would need to be taught empathy. They already know cognitive empathy most of the time. Like they can look at you and go, okay, that probably hurts or whatever.
If it's something they can relate to, right?
Indeed, but they don't use it in the ways that you or I would use it, right? They use it to manipulate you, not to help you or make you feel supported in any way, shape, or form. Okay. So, and the other thing I wanted to talk about is, do narcissists believe their own lies? Well, I can tell you, I was raised by one who did, who said the lies so many times. I'm positive that that person believed those lies.
It's a different kind of belief. It's like they convince themselves.
And they can,
in the same way we believe the lie about how horrible we are.
Yes, exactly. And it's because they cannot handle what I've seen in my personal situation was that she couldn't handle the truth. She didn't want anybody to know the truth, and she couldn't handle anyone knowing the truth, which cost me far more than anyone probably could know.
Right. Well, but because the truth exposes the vulnerability under the ego.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Let's see here. So we have, Elizabeth saying, oh, wait a minute, did I miss one? Okay. Elizabeth is saying, I was weak again because I let my mother anger me. I think I will continue to make this mistake until I'm 90 if I live that long. All right, listen. First of all, I'm not sure how old you are, Elizabeth, but I do know this. we can be angry at our abusers, and that's normal. I think when the anger becomes toxic for you is when you need to intentionally work on letting go of it. Sometimes, though, for me anyway, at least you tell me if you feel the same way. For myself and my clients, I've seen anger be a tool, right? Because we can propel ourselves forward. You can choose to let it fester, of course, and ruin your life and everything, or you can choose to just use it as a tool. I used it as a tool. Oh my gosh, I've done so many things when I was, because of anger over the years, because I could either be angry or I could take that energy, because it does raise up your energy, does it not? Right? And so if you take that and you kind of funnel it toward what you want, woo, it's so much better. And sometimes that's getting out of a situation or whatever. So right. Elizabeth, so let us know your thoughts about let us know, are you able to propel forward with this, or do you need help letting go of it? Lise, do you have any thoughts for her?
Yeah, it really depends on the stage or phase
situation
that you're in the situation. If you do need it to help you, sometimes we need it to help us remember how bad it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is like when we do like fall for a Hoover or slip back into engaging with them if we're low contact and we engage too much and then we get angry. That's actually a justifiable emotion. It's a real honest emotion for having someone manipulate you again. As long as you're not turning the anger on yourself.
Right. That's
and right. Just having anger doesn't mean we have to then attack ourselves. So.
Right. That's right. Okay. Oh, hey, Shastina. I haven't seen you in a little while. Venus Vegas, what a great name. Watch out for the flying monkeys, aka energy vampires. Okay, with that, maybe energy. Okay, listen, can we talk about this? Flying monkeys are definitely going to help a narcissist with the lying and all the things, but pause that for a moment. Lise, one of our mod squad here, Chris and I were talking the other day, and someone, and I don't want to mention names just yet, but someone said that might be a term that could be considered a racist term because of so I was thinking maybe we should think about renaming those people in the future.
I'm confused. Renaming what?
Flying monkeys. And even though we don't see it that way, but it was a person who
I would have to think hard, and then I'm like, oh, I get it.
I know. But I'll fill you in later.
I understand. Yeah, but really what it is I call them the henchmen or the oh gosh, there's another term.
Enablers.
They're enablers. They're minions.
What are they called? Minions or cronies.
Cronies.
But see that you have those who are willing and aware that they're helping to manipulate, and then you have those who care and really want to help, but are misinformed. Yeah. And sometimes even just like if you're in a mood, like, and you just don't want somebody to talk to you about this or let's say you left and now the narcissist is like, oh, I'm so worried. Go check on this person. It's still it could be a flying monkey. All right. Any other thoughts on that?
No, that's it. I mean,
all day. Right now. Lovely Empress says, is there any hope for a narcissist on manifesting them into a new version and so on? Okay, first of all, manifesting them into a new version and so on. Okay, so what you have to know is, number one, you cannot manifest anything. You cannot
for other people.
Change it another person, right? So don't bother wasting your energy, because that person will, whatever they're doing, but what you can do is manifest more people in your life who are how you want them to be, right? Do you have any thoughts on that for her? Otherwise, manifesting them into a new version and so on.
No, you can't do anything for anybody. I mean, it's too far of a magical thinking that is hope that on something that even science can't manipulate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we can't even with therapy find proof that they can change.
Right.
Okay. There's people who claim it all over the place. A lot of them are doing it for sensationalism and to get your views. Okay. And to get you to believe something. And, but there is nothing scientifically or through the psychiatric world, as far as I know, that proves that there is legitimate change on a regular basis with narcissistic people. Here's the thing, though, they can change into more covert versions of themselves or more overt versions of themselves, depending on the situation. So change, yeah, but becoming healthy in relationship, unlikely.
Right.
Yeah.
Anytime I've seen any change happen with a narcissist, it has been temporary at best, and it's surface level. It's behavior modification at best.
It builds such hope in the person who is with them that when the shoe drops, so to speak, the person crashes hard. So
it's horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah.
You know, and to lovely Empress, I would just say this: I feel you so deeply, but I would suggest to you that you consider manifesting for yourself what you want, instead of trying to do something for someone who isn't interested in your support, or well, maybe they want your support, but not in that way. Right.
Right. And if you're trying because you want them,
yes,
we have to sometimes have a realistic view of who we're dealing with.
Yes.
It's one thing to want to manifest goodness in somebody who's already working hard to be, you know, to like help,
Yes.
but this is going against their nature.
Right. That's right. Now, this is an interesting thing. Excuse me, my nose again. I have so many allergies. I don't even know, because it's cold outside. How is this even
It's happening here too. I don't know. The geese flew in. I'm like, it's not spring, guys. Go.
Right. Like, hello.
January.
Darn. It shouldn't be, right. It shouldn't be this cold and also sneezing at the same time. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So Ellen C says, you don't trust me because your ex messed you up. Now, this is a really good, right?
Yeah, that's a lovely one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or on the flip side of that, I will not be kind to you or treat you with any love or respect because my ex messed me up. I've heard that one too.
I'm very guarded because of the people who have hurt me in the past. That was my ex. Oh yeah.
The victim, poor victim. Yeah.
Baby. Yeah.
And then you're just left to either tolerate it or leave. And of course, most of us, you know, before we understood what this was,
we tolerated.
Yeah. We tolerated. Right. All right. Let's see. Expect the narc to deploy them. What is this? I think I missed a comment from Venus Vegas, but Jack says, in the case of a narcissist parent, the other parent may be the head narc enforcer, aka flying monkey, or zombie minion.
Oh yeah, that's very common. If it doesn't have to be a parent, but if there's a couple and one's a narcissist and one isn't, the one who isn't is an enabler. Yes. Almost, even if they don't know it, they're not doing it on purpose to like, oh, let's give my narcissistic spouse some more attention from other people. No, it's just sort of like this horrible, uncomfortable cover up we're always doing there, you know, you're doing when you're with them, or a horrible, uncomfortable, like, oh, walking on eggshells to make sure everything's going okay for them. And so enabling happens. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And yeah.
This is interesting from Venus. I actually really like what Venus said. Venus says, I'm actually a survivor, 1 in 5 that survived. I don't know that story, but I'm interested in hearing it at some time. But this is interesting. She says, I've heard all the lies because he underestimated my intelligence. Now, y'all, this is the part that I want to talk about really quick. I like it. First of all, I want to hear the story, and I'm sorry that I can't hear it during this stream, but I'm interested if you want to email me. Okay. With that being said, I've heard all the lies because he underestimated my intelligence. Now, little tip, little secret, the narcissist's Achilles heel is right there in that comment, underestimating our intelligence. And so I tell you, let them. Okay?
Yeah, don't let them know you're got anything going on up here.
No, even if they already know.
Intuition. No, don't. Yeah.
Right. Let them, because they should know if they bother to try to know who you are. The fact is, they habitually underestimate us. And that's the part that is just, you know, that's the Achilles heel. Let them have it. Because if they know you're that smart, they're gonna work a lot harder to figure out how to overcome you. But if they think you're just some dumb little whatever, then great. Because then you can,
Right. And if they do know you're intelligent, they're going to work to break that because it's something that they like in you for supply.
Right. Oh, or something you like, okay, here, it's same thing, but here's an example, a similar thing. they will also go after you to make you, like we said, to make you feel less. But they go after all of your qualities. But if they find the one thing, like for me, that was the one thing I knew about myself. I never thought I was attractive. Never thought I was like whatever, but I always knew I was smart. And so my ex would go after which was ridiculous because he wasn't smart.
Right. Yeah. I watched that too. Yeah.
So I would be like, okay.
But they think they're really smart. So.
They do. And if you let them think they're really smart and let them think they're smarter than you, then
I suppose when you live a life of lies by omission, if you just lie to yourself by omission, you are smart. In your delusional mind, right?
Yes, indeed. in your little narc world. How many narcissists, Lise, have you known in your life with somebody that you knew in common said to you, that's like Becky World or Bob World or whatever, where like, oh, they live in their own, and then maybe it's just me.
I have thought it myself. I don't know that it's been said out loud.
I've heard some things. Okay, let's see here. Elizabeth says, why do I engage in these useless debates? Oh, this one was about whether she has empathy or not. We know the truth. Okay, listen. So this is the problem, Elizabeth, is that don't bother to tell her what she is. Don't share that with her. Because she'll just, if she is intelligent, she'll look it up and then she'll twist it and turn it around and make it all about you and call you the narcissist. And that will be very upsetting. These other thoughts for her on that?
Yeah, and when you're dealing with a female narcissist, there is an element of them that is a little different than most male narcissists. Not that men can't do this too, because they do, but it is really common with the female narcissist where they like to dig into the psychological world. So they get all the information that we're getting. Yeah. And they'll flip it back and turn it on you with, again, these lies by omission with the half-truths and the projecting. Boom, they'll throw it at you. So they always have the right answer to the argument. So when you try to debate, they have a tool bag. They have the same tool bag and they're throwing it back and forth, and they love that stuff. It is, it's. And
it's not always, like you said, it's not always a female narcissist.
No, but it's common with them.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of times if they aren't already looking at it and then you mention it to them, they start Googling and then.
That's that too. So not engaging is always the answer.
Yes. Yes. So Elizabeth, a little tip, maybe Lise can offer some too. When I'm dealing with a narcissist, I'm pretty much in the habit now of anyone who's toxic, I try to tell them the truth once. And if they try to understand and they're genuine, I will tell them more or I'll try to explain more. But if they intentionally, blatantly misunderstand me and I know that they get it, I'm like, okay, and I move on. And they're like, wait, but no. Okay, Mom, you have empathy. Cool.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Got you. Empathy. Yep. Check. Okay. Any thoughts for any other tips for kind of
just like when you're having to engage with them, if you have to, or if you're at the end of you're just trying, for whatever reason you have to engage with them. They start gaslighting you. You don't say, don't gaslight me. You don't say, you don't argue about the thing they're gaslighting. You remember the point of the conversation. Oh, that's right. We were talking about spending $50 on the thing. Okay. Come back to the point, state the point, walk away. Right. Think on this. Let me know what your answer is later. Bye.
Adios.
Adios. Yeah. Cause that is not, they're just going to keep, it's all a tool like smoke and like a smoke bomb to avoid any situation that they have to deal with, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way you put that. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Crystal says lying is innate to them. And yes, it is. And hello, Crystal. Ellen says, let's face it, almost everything from their mouth is a lie or a gaslighting phrase. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. Almost everything. I mean,
almost everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And talk on it.
No. I'm just thinking about these more extreme cases where literally everything was a lie. Like the friend's husband on the couch I told you about, like for real, his whole history was a lie.
I mean, why would, I don't know the fascination with that, why they want to be like, because I personally think for me, and tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, for me, I think now when I was younger, I used to probably lie more than I should have here and there, but it was learned behavior. But as I matured and got older, I realized I didn't care what anyone thought. And I do care. Don't misunderstand.
No, I know what you mean. It's just,
right.
You got to be you. Yeah.
Right. Rather be honest and straightforward. And this is what it is. Now, sometimes I accidentally lie. Like I say, I will talk to you at this time. And if you're not on my calendar, or if I'm super extra busy, then I accidentally lie. I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry about that. But
truth about it.
I am telling you, I'm being honest about it, but
right.
I mean to tell the truth.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah, you live with the best of your integrity that you can. And
I do the best I can. Yeah. We all do though, right? I mean, I'm guessing, except for
toxic people who like
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh, now this is Jack says, oh wait, Venus says, know your worth and watch out for all the red flags. Of course. Absolutely. Jack says, it's not worth it, but I gave my mom a piece of my mind anyway. Asked to borrow something dad owns, but she couldn't remember existed. So she said, maybe you dreamt it up. Oh, I feel you. I have had that experience, and those exact same darn words said to me.
Yeah, that didn't happen. What do you mean? What thing? You dreamt that?
Dreamt it up. That's so offensive. I'm so offended for you. Any thoughts for Jack?
No, that's
offensive. I feel for you. Now, Miss B says, let the other supply have them, okay? That's sometimes wish it, you want that. But not everybody wants that, and not everybody has another supply that we are aware of, at least, when there's one of those, right?
Right.
Any thoughts on that?
No, yeah, it's also, when you're trauma bonded, it's hard to see. It's only from a distance that you're like, whew, out of that.
Yeah.
Someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina Sunshine says the truth is basically the exact opposite of what they say. It's weird. And that is often true. Well, which is when we talk about projection, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When they cheat on you and they accuse you of cheating. Or another reason they project that kind of a lie onto you, though, is with the projection, with the cheating one specifically, is because I think what they're doing is they're not only are they trying to, they're projecting their own crap on you, but they're also trying to get you to stop focusing on themselves and their actions and start to try to prove to them how much you love them and how much you're not cheating on them. So you spend all this time trying to focus on them and show them how much you love them. Meanwhile, they're over there doing whatever the heck they want. You don't notice because you're so busy trying to make them happy and not complain when they're late, not do this when this happens or whatever,
Yeah.
And if you do, then they go, oh, so you're not cheating on me, but you're complaining that I'm late? What? I know you're cheating on me. Whoa, or whatever. So crazy.
And you're looking at my phone? Why? Yeah.
Right.
Well, here's another that I was just thinking as you were talking, unrelated but totally related, how how we end up as survivors of this stuff in relationships where we're lying to the narcissist to protect ourselves. I get a lot of people say, but I lie too. I don't tell them the truth. I have to lie about where I'm going. I lie about what I did. I lied about who I talked to, because if I don't, then all this comes out. Maybe I'm the toxic one. Here's the thing. When you're in a toxic relationship, you can't have a healthy relationship. You can't be the healthiest version of you. And you're going to break your moral code. Your boundaries are all over the place with yourself, even because the relationship itself is toxic, because the other person is a narcissist or is so toxic that they can't relate in a healthy way. If you're being gaslighted and lied to and projected, if all of the stuff we're talking about is happening, it's kind of impossible to stay in long term and be completely honest all the time.
So true. Yeah. So true.
Not for everyone, but for a lot of people. That
happened to me too.
Yeah. Even people who are like, I don't lie. Oh wait, I did.
Yeah. And it's for that reason.
Client that was so upset about, she hated it. She just was so upset with herself because of the lies she told. The reason she told lies is if she even said, I brought cat litter for my neighbor who was sick, they would attack her because the neighbor was male.
Oh, believe me, I know.
and they were like, the neighbor was their age group and, available or whatever, it was like, but they had COVID, I was like dropping it off at their door for the cat, and so had to lie. Where were you? Oh, I got stuck in traffic, and it just got blurry. Yeah. So trying to explain that is self-protection, and it's a proof, and it should be a way to look back and go, oh, that relationship wasn't good for me.
Very good point. That's a really good point you brought up. And like you said earlier, that is one of the reasons so many of us doubt ourselves, because we have, had to go there. I certainly did, with my parent and my ex, just to avoid the wrath. Yeah. Ridiculous. So if anyone here can relate to that, let us know in the chat. Let's see here. Oh, Ellen says, I love I have cheated on you once, when really it's every single day, right? Yeah. The minimizing the lies, right?
Like once today, I mean, right. That's, yeah.
Let's see here. Jack says, my dad helped me look for it, but the thing they couldn't find. We couldn't find it. I told him not to worry. And then he's like, I'll just get my own hatchet. That's probably the best thing you can do at this point. Yeah. All right. And now Lovely Empress again asks, can a narcissist be helped and saved? And if so, how? Is NPD really forever and can't be helped at all? All right, look, I'm going to tell you my theory. My theory is, yes, they could. And they would have to go to a therapist who is properly qualified to fix them, which
I don't know of any, but okay.
Right. Secondly, they would have to work through, find the core wound, heal the core wound, and then heal all the other crap that happened because of the core wound. And then they'd have to go back to learning empathy like a 2-year-old from that perspective, and be willing to suffer that humiliation. So if we're being honest, narcissists, they would be very offended if we had to teach them on that level. And they would have to, be really willing to do the work, and then actually do the work, and then continue with the follow-up aftercare. It's not gonna, I've never seen
behavioral modification would be necessary long-term,
yes,
like
long-term.
Years and years and years of behavioral modification. I mean, think about how hard it is to change the simplest habit, like eating potato chips or whatever, like one habit that you have that you just want to change, but you feel like you can't.
Right.
And how long that takes, and you want to.
Right. And you have to watch it.
And you have to watch it. This is a whole personality we're asking about. And not only that, but it's a personality that lacks empathy. Correct.
So they don't think they're doing wrong things most of the time. And when they do think they're doing wrong things, they think it's for a good reason.
Yeah. And then the other thing I've heard, and I don't know enough about this to speak too much, but is that they don't have a true personality underneath the ego. So what they present themselves as when they're wearing the mask, as we know it, is how they show personality. When that comes off, underneath it is just this miserable. So that person can't just develop personality. We develop personality in our childhood.
Right.
And so it would take a heck of a lot.
I mean, yeah. And it would take them, look, the reason that narcissists behave the way that they do is because somewhere along the way, they found a technique that gets them the things that they want, even though that technique involves bullying and belittling and treating people like non-humans. That's the only thing they know. They don't understand. I've spoken to several narcissists, and a lot, and many of them have said to me, like, everybody thinks the same way. And you think what I think, don't you? You think just how they don't understand that people even have different ways of thinking.
Right.
Like they can't comprehend it.
Right. Well, they can't comprehend anyone thinking other than they do.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Other than their viewpoint. And you're like, hey, well.
Nothing else makes sense.
Nothing else.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
No, I think so. I think the answer in our lives, in our lifetime, is no. Right. Yeah, I hate to fill people with false hope.
Me too.
And I'd rather be the bad guy and say the hard thing.
Same. And the fact of the matter is that the theory I have is always followed up by, but I've never seen it happen. And every single doctor, therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, social worker, coach, etc., that I've ever worked with or spoken to or done, we've never seen it. There was a Dr. David Hawkins, who was talking about, I can cure narcissists, but here's what happened. Somebody reached out to me several years ago and they were like, hey, can you look at this guy? Because he says he can cure narcissists. I'm not really sure. I'm like, all right, let me look at him. So I looked at his stuff and I was like, sounds like behavior modification. Sounds like it's just, and basically his deal was you had to continue to work with him forever or you had no guarantee. Well, as Richard Grant so eloquently pointed out, that is very convenient for someone who goes by the hour, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is.
Okay. And then after I put out that video, I had 3 or 4 women, because this man only worked with male narcissists. I had 3 or 4 women reach out to me. And guess who they were? They were the wives of his patients, some of his patients. Guess what? It was just behavior modification. They continued the behaviors.
Oh, yeah.
They had to keep going to therapy all the time. There was no genuine change. So my feeling is it does not happen.
Yeah, exactly. And you can almost watch it when you look at a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because
Talk about it.
they're really good at looking normal.
Yes. Yes. And they're
And
scary.
they learn quickly how to modify their behavior for specific situations.
Yep. They will also even like intentionally use body language that,
Oh, yeah.
that seems, they're really good. And psychopaths are almost always highly intelligent. Not always, but almost always highly intelligent. And that's scary. Ellen says, or the simple lie, I'm so tired from work. In reality, they were at their girlfriend's house. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. And then Elizabeth says, oh no. Let's see. Okay. Chris says, a narcissist cannot be cured. In most cases, they only get worse. That's correct.
Yeah, when you have that behavioral modification that you're talking about, you end up with a covert narcissist.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I want to remember this for next week, please.
I'll write it down. I'm gonna open my notes here.
Okay, collapsed narcissists. Let's talk about it next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're fun, aren't they?
Oh, they're fun. Yeah. Jack mentions his mother has Parkinson's, and he expects it to get worse as she collapses. And yes, we'll talk about it.
I keep banging this thing there.
But
I keep shaking my camera.
Oh, me too. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, 2 or 3. Okay. Sometimes they don't really bother with a solid alibi. They just flat lie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. And that is.
Oh, my favorite lie. I forgot.
Oh.
I don't know. Why'd you do that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I do these things.
I hate that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My favorite one is another favorite is the pretending not to understand you.
Oh, that comes with the I don't know, or like what?
And the gaslighting and the
what?
Right, yeah.
What do you mean? Why?
I don't. Or like, or you're like, let's say, I don't know, the sky is blue. What's blue?
What's blue?
What's the sky?
What do you mean? Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Do you mean the atmosphere or the sky? Where? What?
Right. Like specifically
not,
what part of the sky or what is the sky again? Wait a minute. Or they just pretend, and that's a lame way to demonstrate it, but they just pretend.
Right.
That they do. And they do.
Right. Because it's usually about interpersonal stuff.
Yes. It's not really about the sky.
You were there, like kind of like Jack's mom.
Yes. What? You must have dreamt it up. That's so freaking offensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a trigger phrase for me. It's specifically for me. Yeah, that's a bad one. And then look what you made me do. That's another thing. Okay. Yeah. What you made me do, or even better, when they cheat on you or they hurt you in some way, they do something to hurt or betray you. And they go, well, that's your fault because you weren't there for me. You didn't come on to me, or you didn't, whatever. You were doing the dishes.
I'm so sorry about what you made me do.
That one still gets me. Okay. Yeah. Woo, I just acted crazy. Okay. But triggers for real. Yeah. Shastina says, no one with NPD that I've ever known has ever healed from it. Don't waste your precious life trying to help them. It's futile. I know I tried. That's right. And so I don't want to call anyone out here, but if anyone is trying to help a narcissist change, you have to recognize it is futile. It is not going to work. You are going to just waste your youth,
your life,
or your life on someone who doesn't deserve your attention or your time.
And when we say help a narcissist heal, think about it. What to them? What do you mean heal?
Right. I'm perfectly fine the way I
What's
am.
wrong with
That's how
me?
they see
Like
it.
it's what you're doing that's the problem.
Oh, that's another good one, Lise, that you just brought up.
Yeah.
You're sick. You're crazy. You need help.
Well, every time they're devaluing you, they're lying.
Mhm.
And that, if you can remember that,
Helps.
helps the devaluing not get in. We have to learn ways to have a protective shield when we're
Yes.
dealing with them.
That's why I like to look at it like a scientist.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
to, you know, take your emotions out of it and go, what's really going on here? And then you can label behavior. Oh, that's gaslighting. That's devaluing. That's just,
Oh, heck
that took the sting out for me big
Yeah,
time,
it
all the
does.
way around. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
The
not
only thing
engaging. You can't
Yeah.
engage though. You can't like provoke it.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No.
You just go, okay,
Yeah, that's it.
that you gray rocket. Because the thing is, if you even say, because I used to want to say, once I learned that term gaslighting, I used to want to tell people they were gaslighting.
Oh yeah.
That's not a good idea.
We have to stop wanting to
To
feel
help them
or for ourselves to feel the validation from the toxic person, or to feel
Correct.
like the righteous, which is completely right, righteous. What am I saying? Like they need to own what they did. Yeah, well, they're not gonna.
Right. Right. Oh, cool. I think my kid just made a cake in a cup. Okay. It's a what? Oh, a cookie in a cup. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see here. Chess. It was a queen bean cup. I should have showed you. Anyway. Chestina. Yeah, that was a very good point you made, Chestina. Okay. To Mystique. Mystique says to lovely Empress, if they are truly entity, there's no helping them, and that's the truth. Let's see here. We have examples of that on YouTube. No lie. Please don't discover it the hard way. I don't know, guys. We're gonna skip over that for now. Angie doesn't call out YouTubers or anyone who's in my niche, okay, except narcissists. Okay. Sorry. And I usually don't refer to myself in the third person either. That's gross.
That was okay.
Sorry about that.
Lise understands.
Thank you, Lise. Love your sense of humor. It's fabulous. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Elizabeth says there's something about household items and narcissists, like necessary items cannot be found or they simply didn't buy them. Yes, this is an ongoing issue, actually, where you see narcissists do this. They will not provide. Well, so there's financial abuse. Let's look at that, where they, you know, what do you mean that you need toilet paper? I just bought it 2 months ago. That 4-pack. What? Right? Like basic necessity. And then yet they're in. Well, I had one client who they lived in a tiny house. They were so crowded. They like had 2 bedrooms and like 3 kids, and you know, tiny small house, very crowded. And they had plenty of money. And the father was driving some expensive car, but the kids were wearing rags to school, and they were living in this house that was so small they couldn't blink without hitting somebody with their eyelash. You know what I mean? Like, that's an exaggeration.
Yeah, it's like forced scarcity and
yeah. And then on that flip side, like lying about buying things or whatever. Any thoughts on that? The household items thing?
Oh yeah, well, it's classic gaslighting, isn't it? I mean, it's where the term came from.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm laughing because of how awful mom said. That's hilarious. Oops, I fell on a lie. I guess she missed that. Oops, I fell on a lie. Okay, I'll stop. That's funny. Can you hear me? Are you over there? Okay.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm You know how you get lost in a thought?
Oh yes. What are you thinking about, Helen?
I don't I don't remember. I was
You'll
just
tell me later.
thinking about
Okay.
lies and
and
dealing with them, and can they change, and yeah, it's all just swimming in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Ellen says the biggest one I think mine told is that I was a manager for the King of Jordan. He was a manager for the King of Jordan. Well, yeah. Reality was he was on the royal court, but
I know, but this sounds. Oh, wait.
Yes, that's correct. A waiter. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty
at least
cool.
he wasn't the King of Jordan. At least. I'm just kidding. At least he didn't lie about that. No.
You know what's funny about that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I want to. I mean, I think it'd be cool to be a waiter for the King of Jordan.
Heck
Why
yeah.
I gotta lie about it.
Right. Why you lie about that? Yeah.
That's a really cool job, I would think. All right. Chris, for a king, wow. Okay. Crystal says, yeah, some acts are absolutely intentional in order to cover their actions they know are unacceptable. But to a true narcissist or sociopath, some of it is completely innate. They don't even know they're doing it. Okay, that's true. And I noticed that the lower they are on the spectrum, the lower they are in intelligence, the more automatic their actions become. Like they just learned that behavior again because that's how they got what they needed.
It was reinforced by
right.
getting away with it. Yeah.
Yes. And then so they think that's how everybody acts, which is bizarre because if you ever try to act like that,
the double standard's a whole nother one we could talk about.
Yeah. Oh, talk about it.
Oh no, I just mean we could do a whole video on the
whole video
on
You're
the
right.
double standard. Yeah.
Lord, you're so right. Yeah. Okay, we are going to do just another 2 or 3 questions, and then we'll wrap up because I know I have a call in a few minutes. I'm not sure what your schedule is today, but okay. So Helpful Mom says, "Ooh, I like this. My emotions are a portable lie detector. So even if I manage to lie, I give myself away every time."
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Every narcissist is a pathological liar, says, ironically, Mary, Mother of God.
Right. Yeah. That's, I think, what we started with. There's no way to, everything about them is a lie. So,
yeah. And Ellen says they get a kick out of it. They certainly do. And Mary agrees. Yeah, they absolutely enjoy lying. It's so pathetic. Right. Chris says, yeah, they're proud of themselves for their brilliant schemes. Oh, I've seen that too. Yes. Richard Grannon has said so, and he's worked with Sam Vaknin. There's a YouTuber now. Yeah, there are a lot of narcissists who are now trying to do narcissistic abuse recovery support.
Yeah, watch out, guys.
Just be careful.
Watch out.
Yeah,
I could talk a lot about that, but I won't.
Me too. I will just tell you this. I've had people reach out to me on multiple platforms about people who are doing that. So just be careful. That's all. Yeah.
And no, I will say that you are feeding that narcissist supply.
Yes, I agree. And I won't say anything else about that because
that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. If you get value from it, great. And that's that, you give them a little supply, you give them a like or a comment, fine. But don't hurt yourself. Don't get yourself hurt. Don't trust them just because they're telling you about narcissists.
Right.
It's really, I've heard many of them say it's about supply for me.
Right. And be careful that you are not getting pulled into it in order to break your trauma bonds with someone else and then becoming obsessed with narcissism itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And not allowing your healing to move forward.
Yes, that's correct. Wait a minute. I'm trying to see what Georgie just said. Hold on. Oh, well, anyway, what time do you have a call?
I don't have anything till 1. So
okay.
Yeah, my time 1. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. She says Sam Vaknin speaks at lengths about that. Okay. So I'm not going to say anything else. I will say this. Sam Vaknin, I had an experience with him.
Oh, yes.
And if you want to know about that, you can go find it on queenbeing.com.
Not pleasant.
And talk about it. All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hey, Bonnie. Bonnie from the Mod Squad in the house. I'm sorry I missed you earlier, honey. She says, usually age brings wisdom, but not with narcissists. And we're going to wrap up on that note because next week we're going to talk about the cleft narcissist. Yes. All right. Lise, any final words of wisdom for our amazing community today?
Words of wisdom.
Okay. We already said all the words of wisdom we have.
said a lot of it. Yeah, we said a lot today.
All right. So we will see you next week. And Lise, when is your next live stream over there on Lise Colucci?
Next live stream. If I have time today, otherwise tomorrow.
Okay. So watch for your notifications. And Helpful Mom, I think, will be posting her reminders again here. So you'll know how to get backup notifications if YouTube doesn't give them to you. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification to Lisa's channel and this channel so that you'll know when we're posting and when we're coming on live for you. Other than that, we will see you next week. Oh, and for those of you who haven't checked it out yet, go to queenbean.com/groups. There is a really amazing group coaching program there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said, come talk to me.
I'm talking. Yeah. And this program is really cool. It's very significant support that you'll be shocked by. I'm so impressed every time I hear anyone talk about it. Lisa's done a really great job and she does amazing things there. So check it out. queenbean.com/groups. Okay. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Lise.
Bye. See you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.